Hello, this is Dr. Deb Watry, and this is a week 6 review for you. So week 6, there is no actual writing of chapters. I am reading through your chapter 3 and giving you feedback for you to make changes. So there is assignments that deal with ethical and validity and discussion for this week, and you start working on your parent consent letter. So in your week readings, chapter 4 in the BUI text talks about validity and talks about ethical considerations. There's a short article that deals with ethical considerations. Both of these are necessary to participate in the assignment that's due for this week and also in the discussion. And then the PowerPoint, there's a real short 3-slide on validity and then validity and reliability. So supplemental materials for you to work with the discussion and the assignments. So the assignment basically is in 2 parts, but do send them all together. The first one is about a full page where you explain the ethical issues and concerns and constraints that you have in your research, and then also the strategies of how you're going to ethically treat those concerns. So that's that first part, number 1. And number 2 is to develop that consent letter and the assent letter, and develop that. I will send you a letterhead to use in that, and that gets sent in together. So once you have your IRB approved, you can start your research. So you can start getting your letter set to go. So your discussion, basically you're going to from the issues that you've talked about in that assignment for the week, you're going to pick one. Okay, explain one of the ethical issues or concern that you have for your research and how you're going to resolve it. And then help out the other students as they talk about their ethical concerns. So the parent consent letter, there's resources in there for you. There's some criteria that you can follow. And then there's also a parent consent letter form. So this does come in with your next week with your revised chapters 1, 2, and 3. I should see also in there your Appendix A, which would be your approval letter from the IRB committee. Appendix B would be a sample of your parent consent letter. Do know when you're adding appendices, you would put Appendix A, Appendix B. They're all do a page break between them. They're not run together, and every appendix gets a title. So then in your table of contents you would write Appendix A, IRB committee approval, Appendix B, parent consent letter. So you just don't in your table of contents write appendices. You also have to list the titles of them there also. I suggest, if you still want to take a look, that a lot of the samples that I have in there for student full thesis, you could look at their appendices and see how they did the parent letters, and that could be a good guide for you also. So this is a quick week. You're working on doing that final revision. You should have chapters 1 and 2 already finished, and that was the purpose of me reading through that and giving you some feedback 2 different times to get you all set for this last project. So next week you'll be just working on that, revising chapter 3 and getting your parent consent letter, getting that and your table of contents, the title page, and we'll talk a little bit about that next week so it's a nice clean copy for you. And do email me if you have questions. We try to get you set to go as soon as I see a question. I try to answer it for you. But who would have thought at the end of this 7 weeks that you would have chapters 1, 2, and 3 written for your thesis? I really do congratulate you. I'm very impressed with your work, and I know then that you can already start collecting your data in that. I will put in just something from 752 that I used for developing your plan of action, so you can see that ahead of time, because many of you are going to take 752 right away. So you need to start already planning how you're going to collect your data in that. So we'll make that start of 752 a little easier for you. So good luck with your writing this week. I look forward to your discussions.